All right. On today's episode of Bubba and Them, I don't know, I just made it up. I'll probably crop that out. If I don't, then it's probably going to be a funny clip. But last time we were talking about the 7 C's here with Angel.
What's up?
And today we got our other brothers here, and they're going to give their input on what they think about the 7 C's and why they think those are important. Remember, we've got confident, consistent, considerate, courteous, concerned, challenged, and courageous. And these are very important things to carry with us as we go and journey through manhood. So we're going to see what these young fellas got to say about this, because, us grown folks can talk about it all day, all night. But let's see what these young brothers got going on and how they feel about those 7 C's. Angel is going to moderate it for you guys. Take it away.
All right, guys. So we're going to start off with confident. So when I was talking to Mr. Robinson the other day, I said I think confident, it's important for us to exemplify it or live through it. It's because at the end of the day, all you guys are yourself. So it's better to be confident in yourself and lift yourself up than to destroy yourself and bring yourself down, because you're your best friend at the end of the day. So what do you guys think?
Okay, so let me go first. I think confidence and ties really well with motivation, and I like motivation in both of them, is because I procrastinate a lot, and when I have motivation, I can get things done. So then that leads to determination. So it's a domino effect. So once you have confidence, you have motivation, determination.
Well, I think confidence means having the determination and spirit to stand out amongst others, because people like to follow crowds, and I feel like if you have enough confidence to know what's wrong and stop going what's wrong, because 2 wrongs don't make a right. So if you have the confidence to stand out, then that's determination, and you having the spirit to step up and be a leader. That's what I think confidence is.
So how about this, right? So you're over here, you're living your best life, you're confident in yourself, whatever, right? You walk into this room and you see one of your peers and they're not confident in themselves. So what would you try and do to try and boost their confidence, or at least change their mood so they're more go me instead of boo me?
Oh, well, me, I'll think about motivate them, tell them everything's going to be straight, tell them what's wrong, tell them get off your feet, tell them want to go do something, because confidence is really not brought by yourself, it's brought by other people with good energy. So if you have good energy, I have good energy. Someone with bad energy, if we walk around him and stuff, he's going to start feeling good about himself and feel like he actually got people to talk to.
Richard? You're good.
Yeah, let me think about that a little bit.
All right, I'll come back to you, right? So
Can we talk about, I really like how Richard talked about, how motivation comes from confidence.
I was thinking, I was trying to piece this together. I was going to say something. I guess, when you're confident, not only does it help you get motivated, that's how other people get confident themselves, too. So, because they're motivated to get confident, kind of, you know what I mean? So that's one.
And I just think about as a teacher, if you guys are confident, about the material, if you know how to do this math problem, or if you know how to do this stuff, then you're going to be motivated to do it. But I guess it makes sense that if you're not confident, if you don't think you can do the stuff, then you ain't going to want to do your work. You're not going to want to take the test because you don't have confidence in yourself. But if you're confident, if you know your stuff, when it comes time for that test, you're going to do your thing. So it makes sense. I'm glad you broke it down like that. Bring it back to the teachers.
All right, so our next word is consistent. I said that basically consistency is you're keeping up with yourself. You may procrastinate here and there, but you should try your best not to, because if you keep on procrastinating, it'll be I'll do this next week, and then that due date comes, I'll just do it the next week. So you constantly end up lying to yourself, and the more you lie to yourself, the more you become self-immune to lying, and it's just gonna hurt you in the long run. So what do you guys think?
Well, I think consistency is to be able to keep things rolling on the same pace. I think of it as you having the ability to elevate but never fall down. And I feel like if you have restaurant stuff, people go there to eat the food, every day they expect it to be good. And one day they go bad, they think they messed up. But if one day it's better, they elevate it. So I think of consistency is that you go up but never go down.
Definitely.
So I wanted to tie this to the stock market in a way, because I want to become an investor. So that's how I connect with this. So it's so in the stock market, you have ups and downs.
Yeah.
So what you want to find is a consistent stock to go through. So I feel it's kind of like that. You want to find a consistent life, and once you have that, you can just ride it.
if you want to become consistent, but you're not consistent yet, what would some tips be that you would give people to start becoming more of that consistent, organized type of flow?
I start with subtasks, like do little things first, break it down to pieces. Once you get, like you said, organized. Once you get organized, then you can get more consistent. So
Start off like with plans, like do short-term goals, long-term goals, and then every time see what you did better the next day. Keep doing it. Once you reach your goal, then you find out that you'll be able to do stuff.
Definitely. So our next word is considerate. Considerate, basically, you take.
I'll see your boy.
All right, Zachary has to go.
Boy now.
We'll have Michael step in.
oh yeah,
Michael, come on, Michael.
better replace.
So now we have Michael here, right? So our next word number 3, it's considerate, and basically what I was telling Mr. Robinson is considerate. You're taking everything into consideration, like how somebody's day went or could have went, because you don't know what they're going through. What could happen if you do this, do that, yada yada yada. So basically, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, so I could do this, and I could turn out like this, or I could turn out like this. So what do y'all think about that?
Well, you don't. When you're inconsiderate, you're going to be ignorant. So, and it's good to understand both sides. That's plain, but that's all I got.
Yeah, I feel like when people say like you're inconsiderate, they say like you're really only thinking about yourself, basically. So I feel like considerate means that you have to think about more than just yourself. And if you just think about more than just yourself, you're not inconsiderate. You're considerate. So that's what I think about it.
Do you think now, in this day and age, especially with all this drama going around, that considerate, like, it's misused a lot amongst people when they get into arguments and stuff?
Yes, I feel like it is because, like I said before, like you're not thinking about yourself. Like if I want to fight someone, let's say for an example, I want to fight someone, I'm not thinking about like the other person. Like let's just sit down, let's talk about it first. Let's just not like go out here and like violence, you know. That's how I feel like it is.
No.
No, right, you're good. All right, so number 4, courteous, and this ties back into considerate. So basically, courteous. Once again, you're taking everything into consideration of what could happen throughout the day. Whether like if somebody went through this or that, because once again, you never know what anybody's going through. So like at the end of the day, basically, you can either make their day or make their day worse. Because like your friend could be depressed or whatever, but you don't know that because they might seem happy on the outside, and depending on how you treat them that day, they could either like become more depressed and need to seek help, or you could change their whole day around to make them happy. So what do you guys think?
Well, I feel like when you're courteous, you should. That's when you put it into common sense. Like you should see. Then you see the signs of your peers, and if you see them, they're not being good. They're not being good. They're not feeling well, or then that's when you should step in, or not even step in at all. Just give them space.
Honestly, I feel the same way. They cut it down for me. You guys, they feel the same way.
Has there ever been a time when you saw somebody being inconsiderate about a situation, and like how did you like get in to make them rethink what they were doing to another person, or what they were doing that could change up their outcome?
Okay, so I was at this seminar. It was for investment. So I was at a seminar, and and most of the people there, they were really helpful, But there was this one guy, and he'd always like, because in investing, you really want to think for yourself. So what he does is he does penny stocks, and there's a term called pump and dump. So what he would do is like it's kind of like an ignorant kind of thing, because it's like he'll tell you like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, you should do this instead, and he'll like say your stock you should invest in what you're investing in. So that's why I think inconsiderate is. He's being very inconsiderate.
I feel like inconsiderate means like an example is like stealing.
Yeah.
Like stealing, they're not considering the other side. Like let's say you rob somebody's house and you found like 3 grand. That could have been their last 3 grand, and now they have to go out here and work even harder to get 6 grand. So you're just not even like thinking about the other person, like being considerate.
All right. So our next word is concerned. I was talking about that you should be concerned for a multitude of reasons. Well, also multitude of reasons why you should be concerned for it, because like you should be not fully active, but at least active, knowing what's going on in your community or whatever. Because there could be an incident that happens, say, on your way to work, and you get caught in that traffic. And then, basically, in the long term of that, you're late to work. It makes you look bad, but you had nothing to do with that, which is being concerned at all. Also, you should be concerned about your friends and family because like they may need help, and you could be that outlet for them that gets them the hope or is the hope for them. So, what would you guys think of? What do you guys think about that?
Being concerned. Well, that shows you care. That shows that okay, he's actually here to be a friend. He's here to see what he can do to make my life better or make my life easier. So, and what that does is, I guess, that makes you considerate as well. Being concerned makes you considerate, and yeah.
I'm gonna put in like I don't have nothing new to add, but I have something to put in that like as a man, you have to be like concerned about like the females in your life. You have to be considered. I mean, not considered, but you have to be concerned about everything because at the end of the day, like the females and everybody else, they're gonna put it on the male shoulders.
It's kind of like
that's why you have to be concerned.
It's kind of like the whole like male population. It's kind of like we've been like stereotyped for like rape and stuff for like because the females out here and they can be making stuff whatever, but then at the end of the day, the males didn't do anything and they were falsely accused about that. But that's how society works. So we should try and work to change that, to open up their minds, to rethink that.
I feel like
Definitely.
I got a question. What can you pinpoint some things like that you've seen amongst people that you can tell like that they're not concerned about?
Say that question again.
Yeah,
Like, can you think of things? Can you think of anything amongst your peers that you can look at them and say, they're not concerned about that. They're clearly not concerned about.
Oh yeah.
Like looking at their actions or things that maybe they've said to you.
Oh yeah.
What are some things?
The good one is like 7th period. I have this class admin tech, and everyone doesn't care. Like my friends, they don't. I mean, one of them he has an F in this class, and he's like, I don't care about it. So he shows that he's unconcerned. So it's a lot like I guess it's like electives in general. People are not concerned, like the students around here.
I feel like the biggest thing is school. Like, if you're not concerned about like your grades, like you're gonna have to repeat the class, and then it's just gonna make school harder for you and life harder for you. I feel like I'm not really concerned about school, but like I'm trying to snap out of that. I'm trying to get my grades up. I'm trying to do like everything that I can to be concerned about it. That's like one thing that I need help with is being concerned. But like everything else, you got it.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that something that like I see people aren't really concerned about is their choices, their decisions, because they might think about it for the micro, like right there in that time period, but like they don't see how that can impact them in the macro and later in their life. Because okay, let's just use drugs for example. Like you could start off, say, just like snorting cocaine or whatever right now, but then you could become a heroin addict later in your life in like your 20s or 30s, and that's not that long from now in your teens.
They're not concerned about their life, basically, if you do drugs. But some people, they don't do drugs, but they sell drugs.
Yeah.
But they're concerned about making it every day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, drugs is like a win-win because I know people, like in my personal life, that like sell drugs, but they don't do drugs. And they just do it to like help out their families. Yeah. I don't think of them as like bad people. I just feel like you have to do what you have to do to make like your own hustle. So it's not like the right thing to do, but like if you can't get a job because of this or you know or that, like you have to do what you have to do to feed your family at the end of the day, which like ties in with being considerate because it can like you're considerate against your family.
All right. So our next word is challenged, and basically, what I think why you should be challenged is look at today and how we had the award ceremony, right? It was mainly the same people who got awards, right? So I feel like that should challenge everybody else who did get an award to be in that position the next time we have the awards. And you should also be challenged to be the top of your game. You don't want to be average because you're average. You're like, okay, they're not going to look at you. Like in sports, if you're average, you're not going to get recruited or drafted to like one of the big teams. Like you're not going to make it to the NBA or whatever. So you definitely just want to be at the top of your game, the best you can be, and that's why you should be challenged.
You know, when you're challenged, like to tie like like for example, let's say when you're challenged, then your mind is getting tested over and over again. So it's like it's helping yourself improve, I should say.
I feel like challenge is like people need to challenge themselves more because people like especially in this generation, people like want to get cut and dry. They want to be at minimum. They want to do I'll just do this to get by, and which is not like true. Like I want to be challenged so I can be at the top. Like when people ask me, this is like funny, but like when people ask me like, where's your favorite place to go? I say the top. I don't really have a favorite spot because I want to like already know that I'm gonna go everywhere like in the United States and or all over the country. It's like speaking it into existence. So like yeah, you just have to challenge yourself to get there. Because if you're not like, what are you living for at that point? You're just like, go on.
Okay, so I was gonna say is okay. So when you're challenged, it's your mind. You're like
You're Richard.
I just lost it.
It's okay.
All right, we'll come back to you. All right. So challenge, right? So has there been like a moment in your life where it was beneficial to you being challenged? Like it changed something. It changed something in you. It sparked a fuse in you that lit up a flame that basically helped you to where you are to get to where you are right now.
Wow. I feel like
I got nothing.
like when what sparked the plug or like sparked the flame in me to be challenged, it was probably like starting my YouTube channel. It's because everyone was just like on it, telling me it's so easy, like yeah, but it's really not.
Yeah.
YouTube is a big thing. It's more than just making a video, posting it. It's a lot more like behind the scenes. And then, but after I just found another YouTuber, and we just started challenging each other. Like it just made me a better YouTuber at the end of the day, and made me like a better competitor to the challenge.
You're good. So courageous, right? So basically what I said what courageous was is that you have the courage to do what others don't do. Like take the Scholar Holler, for example, right? It may be to most people it seems like this thing that like has no benefit on them on life or whatever, right? So they think, oh, it's just a stupid thing, I'm not gonna do it. But you doing it, you standing up in your class, you're showing courage that you're gonna do this, you're gonna be different from them, you're gonna be the odd one of the group. And that's something I've learned too, that it's okay to be the odd one. So how do you feel that courage would benefit you or why you should demonstrate courageousness?
I like the point that you made with the Scholar Holler because honestly, I was doing that. Like at first, I was not doing it, but then I just not like, well, if I just do it, I know everybody else will start doing it. So when I started like saying the Scholar Holler, when nobody else was doing it, then people started joining us, and then we started doing it together. And now almost half of all the boys that have done it now because one person can change it because they're
a chain reaction. It just takes one leader, and then everybody does it.
I like how you guys use courage. Like you don't have to throw yourself in that fire kind of courage. Being courage is just maybe it could be just standing up against peer pressure. That kind of, so it could be like the small things.
Yeah, because definitely like you want people to look at it like this, like wow, they did that. Like you want to set the example for them, because like you want to be the first one to do it, so then they can look at you and they'll be like, oh wow, so this is how you do it, and then they like see you differently than how they perceived you before.
It was like the same thing with like my YouTube channel. Like not to like keep on bringing it up, but like my YouTube channel is like when I started it, everybody was like, well, why are you gonna start a YouTube channel? Yeah. But now I started it, and so many people love my videos. I literally walk up and down the hallways, and people are asking me, "Oh, when's the next video dropping? Oh, when is it? I love that video. I love that part when you did this or that." And it just brings me out like, oh yeah, I was courageous enough to like do it, because I know if I would have just listened to everybody, I would not have did it.
Definitely.
And like I think of it like this, like we get one hater, there's like 10 more people that love you. So I love the hate because I know 10 more other people are gonna, love it for 20 or 30 and 100. Yeah, just like that.
All right, so we've gone through some of the C words, right? So now think about another C word that you think would also be beneficial to demonstrate and live by.
Character, like you said before, I'm still that one.
All right.
Good character, you're just a good enjoyer, you're a good person, people want to be around you.
I feel like my C word would have to be change, because you might start off like something, but you can change it. Because like people might think, oh, you stole last week. Well, I didn't steal this week. I'm not about to steal next week. I'm not about to do it next month, like because I changed. So that's what I feel like. Change is like a very
Definitely. And another thing, like, okay, so these are C words that are going to help you in life. And people, like most of the boys, because as you see, not everybody did the thing. So as you sit down and look at it, you'll be like, oh, this is going to benefit me for later in life. It's going to help you for the micro. As like to other ones who just look at it and they just look at it as work. And then they don't want to do it because it's it's because of their like the type of mindset that they have. Or also like they're not confident in themselves. Like back to the thing. So like next time we should try and get like the other boys to come here and do this too, because it actually like helps you, and it's not just work for you to do and don't waste your time on.
That's what I thought it was. Like I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was like straight work. But then when you sit down and start doing the interview, the podcast, I feel like it's really changed my mindset. Like yes, I really did need this. And that's what people like in life actually miss. Like they always miss opportunities because they think it's too hard, so they're not gonna like get the opportunity. But you just have to like say, you have to be courageous, you have to be considerate, and you have to be just like straight up out there, be brave to like get those.
Ms. Robinson, you got anything to say?
Nah, man, I don't really have anything to say. I'm really over here, trying to not get emotional, just because, like, I know y'all, and I'm like blown away by the conversation that y'all have just had. I think you guys had a great conversation. I think you guys, said everything that I could say. I wouldn't add anything to the discussion, and I really like how Richard said character, but I think you said that last time, didn't you? And then change, you almost messed me up with that one. You almost messed me up with that one because you're so right. Like that is an important, not only word, but it's important. It's an important concept to live by because, you might have done this in your past, or you might have been this way before, but now it's a new day and I'm turning over a new leaf. Last school year I ain't doing no work, but this year, I'm doing all my work. I'm turning all my work in. So I definitely think, we've got to live by change, because if we don't, then we're going to be stuck doing the same thing over and over again. And, that's not going to do anything great.
In the dark.
About it. What about our visitor? We have another visitor over here. I wonder if he has anything to say about these 7 C's.
Honestly, they hit it right on the money. I just seen these gentlemen today, and I'm really impressed. I teach youth myself, so they definitely have it going. I believe they're going to take it forward and help the other youth around them teach this. And so, yeah, this is something really cool to see today.
All right, do you guys have any comments for the people watching this?
Just watch the video. Please share, because like that's a very powerful word too. Because like if you don't share, you just give it to yourself. That's just gonna be put back on you. That you might need something and they won't share it. You might be in a struggle. They won't share it. That's why you need to share this. And I feel like this is a very powerful message. So you have to share with like men, females, everything.
Definitely.
Everybody.
Richard?
Well, my head hurts right now, so I probably could think of something later on. I'm a critical thinker, so I take time to just think. So I'll probably come up with something later.
All right, guys. Remember, go beyond your expectations and prove your doubters wrong. Plus Ultra. Catch us on the next one.
Subscribe.